Should be about live.
All right. Good morning, my friends. I am so excited about today. I cannot even tell you. I'm so excited. I have awesome sidekicks with me today because normally we've been doing the projects together in Zoom afterwards, but today is kind of messy and it's a big project. So I didn't want to have to redo it with just them in Zoom. So we're going to do it together. There's a lot of stuff that's going to happen. You can choose to do certain parts of it with us and just watch certain parts, or you could do it all with us. It's up to you. We are not going to change the salt on our mummies today just because we have a bunch of different things that we're going to do. And I really want to make sure we have the time to show you all of the cool things about how our bodies extract energy from food. So we'll do that tomorrow instead. And if you want a shout out, put it in the comments right now so you can get a shout out. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel so that you can get all the notifications about when we go live. And you won't miss a great day of science with us. And I'll go over the supplies while we wait for the shout out. So today we are doing everything with digestion. So we are going to measure our digestive tracts with string. So you'll want some string to measure your digestive tract. We are going to do a project where we look at digestive enzymes. So we are actually going to use crackers and a Ziploc bag to look at how some digestive enzymes work. I have sort of a bonus project here where I have some gelatin, and we'll watch this all together over time. So if you don't want to make the gelatin, totally fine. And if you do want to make the gelatin, this is something you could do tonight and watch it sort of happen over the night. Gelatin. Yeah, so this is gelatin. Bloop. It's thick, but we're not going to touch it. And to look at the gelatin, we're going to look at a different enzyme. And we're going to look at meat tenderizer, which you might have. No thanks, Georgia. And then we're going to use fresh pineapple. And then I have taken some of the fresh pineapple and cooked it for a little bit. So we're going to look at something really cool about enzymes there. But again, if you don't have that stuff, no big deal because you can watch it with us. And then our big star attraction of the day, we are going to make the whole digestive process go. We're going to do it in action. And we are going to change a breakfast plate. So you'll need some breakfast like this. I can't really put it up because I have milk in there. But we are going to choose our breakfast and we are going to turn it into the poop. And to do that, you're going to need a few things. You'll need some toilet paper tubes, or these are like cut down paper towel tubes. You'll need something like a nylon stocking or a sort of raggedy sock that you're not interested in anymore. You'll need a pair of scissors. You're going to need a few different Ziploc bags to help keep the mess. Some lemon juice for our stomach acid. And then I've got a tray over here that is going to help us. It's going to help us contain the mess because it is going to be messy. All right. So as you guys grab the supplies, one other thing I want to talk about really quickly is yesterday we looked at sort of the outsides of our bodies and sort of like what provides structure, muscles and tendons, and we made those hands. Today we're going inside, but we're going sort of like a big system inside. We're doing our digestive tract. And we're going to keep going further and further into our body. So tomorrow we're actually going to look at cells. And on Thursday we're going to extract DNA from those cells. So you have a printout in your kit that has sort of like all about the animal cell. And tomorrow we're going to make models of the cells. Now your model could look like anything. This is a model I put together really quickly. And you can sort of see like I use noodles and pipe cleaners and rubber bands and a recycled cap lid and a paper plate. But something you might want to think about is for supplies for tomorrow, you're going to want to brainstorm like, what could I use to make my cell in? Or what could I use for these different parts of the cell? So that's something you're going to want to think about over the course of today and tomorrow. Maybe it could be a dinner conversation. Although I kind of feel like this might be the dinner conversation. I won't lie, because it's going to be amazing. All right.
Make me lose my appetite.
Isabella's a little worried. She thinks it's going to be super gross. But gross is fun. I'm excited. All right. So who do we have with us other than Isabella and Georgia?
All right. First on the list is our friend Jackson Murray.
Jackson! Yay. I'm excited that you're here.
Then we have the Hertz, Taylor, Jacob, and Megan.
Hello, Taylor, Jacob, and Megan. I'm excited to have you guys too.
And we have the Lindberghs, Amelia, Chloe, and Calvin.
Yay! It's Amelia, Chloe, and Calvin are with us today. Ready to make some poop.
Abel's saying hi.
Hello, Abel. Oh, you're going to love this one.
And there's the good kids, Ellie and Sam. Oh, just Ellie and Sam. Where's
Oh,
the
just
other
Ellie
one?
and Sam, but you know what? They're all good because they're the good kids. Oh my gosh, seriously, best last name ever.
Every day. Then Elliot's here.
Hello, Elliot. How are you?
Good.
And Rachel, she's here for another day. Thanks, Rachel.
Yay, Rachel! I'm excited.
And there's Kaya. Hi, Kaya.
Hi, Kaya. I'm still seriously impressed how you're coming with us on spring break.
That's
We were supposed to
awesome.
have our spring break next week and go actually down to California and see Joshua Tree. I'm a little bummed. We're going to do a virtual tour instead.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And there's Clara and Anna.
Hello, Clara and Anna. Ooh, I'm excited to see what you guys make. Well, I know what you guys are going to make. We're all going to make poop. I don't know if we need to see everybody's poop. I don't know. It could be fun in
You
Zoom.
should definitely show us your poop.
We should definitely see the poop in Zoom.
And we have Callie.
Hello, Callie.
And this is the first time I've seen them, but Ivan is here from Canada, and it is his 12th birthday.
Happy birthday, Ivan! Oh, and this is the first time. Is this your first time checking in with us? Oh, it's so exciting. And you're 12. Congratulations. Happy birthday. You're almost a teenager. It's crazy talk.
All right.
All right.
I'm going to try again.
Venetia.
Venetia. That's what I was going to say.
Evan doesn't even need to tell me you're there, Venetia, because I know your name.
And we have Luke. Luke is here.
Luke's awesome. Luke, he's come to my classes. He's too old now.
And
That's
then,
okay.
oh,
Or
hi.
Holly and India and Finn and Poppy there, maybe?
I don't know. I don't see their names on
I'm
the
gonna
list.
cross my fingers out there.
We have 30 families, science-loving families here.
What?
We got a few more to say hi
Okay.
to. We have Raiden. Raiden is here.
Raiden's here!
And
Raiden's awesome.
Elsa's here.
Hello, Elsa. No Lauren? Or maybe a different Elsa.
Oh, there's Rex. Hey, Rex.
Hey, Rex!
And Ruby and Leif. Hey,
Ruby
Odyssey.
and Leif are with us!
And there's Leah and Nettie.
Yay, Leah and Nettie. I'm so excited you guys are joining us too. It's gonna be a fun one.
And there's Connor.
And
Hey,
Connor.
And we already have a couple questions.
Ooh, a few questions. Can you wait for a second? We have some questions, unless it's a question.
We have, can we use orange instead of lemon?
Ooh, can you use, yes, you totally can. It's just gonna be a mock acid. So anything that you have that's like slightly acidic, lemon juice, vinegar, orange juice. What else can I think of off the top of my head? I mean, we're not gonna eat any of this, so a lot of cleaning agents are acidic.
Okay.
That'll work.
Another question is, can we use plastic cups instead of paper cups? Georgia.
Yes, you know what? In fact, I am just going to use the bag. So the paper cups are if you want to poke a hole in it to make the anus for the poop to come out of. We're gonna actually just cut the bag for ours. I didn't think about that. So yeah, you're totally okay with a plastic or a paper or none if you just, we're gonna cut the hole in that.
We have a couple more people saying hi.
Okay.
We have MCS, Eli, and Ari.
Oh, Eli and Ari! Hello! I'm excited that you guys are joining us.
I am really excited.
Yes, George is excited too.
And I have something special to tell Georgia in a second. But first, Claro and Sky are here.
Hello, Calero and Sky! I love
And-
seeing our cousins on this. This is the best. This is the best.
So, Georgia, Isabel, Raiden would like to know you to know that he has said hi to you back.
Oh, special hello from Raiden straight back to the girls. Not to me. I guess he did say hi to me. That's cool.
That's
All right.
all the calls we have. We can do more calls later. And
Okay.
questions. Please ask your questions.
Yeah, definitely type your questions into the chat window and we will get them because we're live, so we'll get them as we go.
Oh, Sadie's watching.
So, Sadie's watching. Sadie's watching. We have a baby niece, and her name is Sadie. Hi, Sadie.
Hi, Sadie. Hi,
It's
Sadie.
never too early to start
Hi,
science.
Sadie. Hi, Sadie.
All right.
Sadie.
So-
Hi, Sadie.
All right, pause. All right, so digestion. Let's talk about digestion. And what digestion does is it helps your body pull stuff out from food. It would kind of suck if you ate a piece of bread, came out as a piece of bread, and your body got nothing from it. Our body needs lots of things. It needs energy, it needs proteins to build muscles, it needs nutrients to help keep, cellular processes going, like calcium is an ion that's used a lot in cellular processes. It goes in and out of our cells. So we need all of these things, and our bodies don't just make it. We have to put it into our bodies. The things our bodies do make they can keep doing that, but they still need the original building blocks. So digestion is how we get those building blocks into our body to create everything. And our digestive tract goes from our mouth. It starts when we start eating something, and it ends in our anus when we poop out stuff, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to measure our digestive tract. So since I have my lovely girls with me today, and you guys can put this in the chat window too, I want you to think, how long do you think our digestive tract is? So it starts here, ends in our bums. How long do you think it is? Like 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot, 6 foot? What do you think?
Like 1.5, well, 2 feet.
All right, so it's about saying like 2 feet. So maybe. What do you think, Georgia?
Maybe 3 feet.
Georgia says 3 feet. All right. Do we have any guesses that came in?
Venetia says 2 feet.
Venetia says 2 feet. Ooh, I like this. You guys are all sort of in agreement. That's great.
And Naomi's here now.
Hi, Naomi. Naomi,
Naomi, I think.
Naomi.
And
Now I get a sequel.
Lauren's sister Elsa showed up.
Oh, yay. All right. So we have a few of you guys that made a guess. And we're all sort of thinking in like the couple of feet. So we are going to measure it. And you're going to use your string to do that.
Ooh, we have some more.
Okay.
We have a couple birthdays are coming up.
Ooh.
Callie's birthday is coming up in 6 days, and Clara's birthday is coming up in 11 days.
Yes.
And Joseph is here to join his brother Rex.
Yes.
And Sam says 20 feet.
Ooh. Sam says 20 feet. Wow, that's different. I like that. I love it when we have different ideas.
Jackson says 10 feet.
Okay.
And the Hertz they've agreed on 33 feet.
Woo.
And the Braden says about 50 feet.
Whoa.
And Kaya says 2 feet. She's on the 2 feet bandwagon.
Okay.
Elliot is saying 12 feet.
Okay. We have a great range. So let's make a model of our digestive tracts to check out how long it is. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your string. You'll probably need to stand up. So we're going to stand up for this, girls. We'll stand up. And the first part of our digestive tract, uh-oh, what happened to Georgia's string? Something funny happened. Hang on. Let's cut it. The first part of our digestive tract is our mouths. That's where we insert all of the food and we start eating. So you can measure your mouth. We're going to measure it on Georgia in a second. But basically from your lips to sort of the back of your thing. And you'll tie a knot right there. So let's see. Georgia has like an enormous head, so hers is probably the same as mine. She's got room for all that big brain she's got.
We've got it.
All right.
Well, like your ear. No.
Sort of towards the back.
The
No, towards the back.
1,600 stars in the sky.
After, and we're going to go all the way back to like right here. So like right around here. Because the next part is going to be when we swallow, it's going to go down our esophagus. Yep.
Did you know
All right.
that there's
So Georgia, stand on up.
1,600 stars in the sky?
There's a lot more than that. All right, so Georgia has a little knot where we went from her mouth to the back, and now we're gonna go from that knot. We're gonna go from right underneath her chin down to her stomach, because this is when we're gonna swallow our food. So we're gonna swallow through our esophagus. So maybe sort of towards your belly button. So this is gonna be the esophagus that's gonna go down towards your stomach.
Wait, what do you mean? Like this?
So you're going to take the knot, wherever that knot was, and you're going to measure down towards like right around your belly button, maybe a little above it, for where our stomach is going to go. Yep. Maybe like right there. Yeah. And you're going to tie a knot there for where our esophagus ends.
All
right. And then we have to measure our stomach. This one we can do sitting down. Your stomach is about as big from your thumb to your pinky when you hold your hand just like this. So you're going to hold your hand just like this. You got to make it like into a bowl. Yeah. And we're going to measure from her thumb to her pinky. That's about how big Georgia's little stomach is going to be. So we'll tie a knot there too. Lots of knots.
What do you mean?
So you're going to hold it from your thumb to your pinky. Did you do? Let's see. We got your mouth, your esophagus. Yep. So now you're going to go from your thumb to your pinky. We're going to tie a knot right there.
But my fingers are long.
That's okay. It's a model. The models are not going to be exact, but they're going to be close. All right. So in our stomach, we are going to add a bunch of acid and some new enzymes to break down our food so that it's like really like mushy. And then we have to get the nutrients out. Well, no, that's her esophagus. So to get the nutrients out, we go through our lower intestine. Girls, you're probably gonna wanna maybe stand up on the chairs. We're gonna do 4 times our height.
Oh.
4 of your heights. Yes. Isabella's already going, my 2 to 3 feet is maybe off. But the Hertzes are still in the running, as is Raiden. All right, so we're gonna do 4 times the height. So you're gonna go from your head to your toes. You're gonna do it 1, head to toes 2.
We have a 300-foot guess.
Ooh. Head to toes 3. Head to toes 4. 4 times. Let's see if we got, here's Georgia's. Where's the other guy? Woo. That was a long lower intestine. Here we go. All of this is Georgia's lower intestine. So we're going to tie a knot in the lower intestine.
There's a lower intestine.
Oh, sorry. Did I say? Yeah. Sorry, the small intestine, not the lower intestine. That was silly of me. The small intestine. This is the small intestine. Is that one. I'm going to do Isabella's real fast. So we're going to go head to toe 4 times. 1. And 2. And 3. Getting a little tangled up here. And 4. All right. Here is 4 for her. Gotta get it back through there. All right. We're going to tie a knot for her small intestine. We're going to pull that all the way through. Woo! And one of the jobs that you guys can do later on is you can measure in inches all of these items. I have a handy little graph. Uh-oh. There we go. I have a handy little chart that you can put all your measurements in inches so we can find the total and put it into feet. All right, so we measured our small intestine. Now we need to measure our large intestine. You're gonna need to stand up again, Georgia.
And how much long is it gonna be?
Our large intestine is gonna be your height. Right here.
But
Just one more height.
Then why is this small intestine called the small intestine and the big intestine?
I know. Your large intestine is pretty much the end. You could add about another 8 inches or so for your rectum if you would like to, but this would be your large intestine here. And this is maybe the muscle that gets that poop out. And this is Georgia's digestive tract. Whoa! Look at that. That is a lot. We could make like some fancy stuff out of your digestive tract. All right, so we're going to do Isabella's real fast. Let's find out where that last knot went.
Where is it then?
Let's see. Oh, there it is. All right, we're going to do her height to once. And then we'll give it a little extra for that rectum area. We'll get it cut
red thing though.
Just like this. The red ball is on the floor now. All right, so this is Isabella's length, which is really quite long. I think maybe 2 feet was maybe not accurate. I also think 300 feet was maybe a little too much. But that's pretty cool, right? I mean, man, that stuff really works.
Do you want me to approximate it with my 6-foot gap?
Evan's gonna maybe take one of these and approximate it with his 6-foot thing. But we can also do the math because it's about a little more than 5 times your height. So Georgia's like 4 feet. So maybe 20 some feet, 23 feet or so is hers. Evan's 6 feet tall. So he's looking at like 32, 33 feet. For just all that plugged up from here to here. Whoa.
I measured 22 feet for Georgia.
And Evan measured 22 feet. Wow, we were like dead on. Okay, so now that we've measured our digestive tract, and again, if you want to, you can totally measure the inches of each piece and figure out your total length of your digestive tract with that piece of string. It's a great little math thing if you are struggling to find awesome math that you want to do. All right, so now let's do a little bit of modeling digestion, but not quite the whole shebang yet. So you guys probably have some crackers and some Ziplock bags. So what we're going to do, please hang on, Georgia. What we're going to do is we are going to look at some of the enzymes that are in our mouths. So mouth is where digestion starts. It's not just for chewing up. We actually have enzymes in our mouths that break down something called carbohydrates. Now, if you're thinking about like what foods are made of. Foods are made of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. So you could think of like crackers, meat, and ice cream is kind of what food is made out of. And we need to break down all of those things to be able to break down our food really well. And in our saliva, we have some stuff that really helps. So we have something called amylase that breaks down carbohydrates. And these crackers are very high in carbohydrates. So what you girls are going to start doing, and what you guys can do at home, is take a few crackers and start chewing them. Don't swallow them. You're just going to start chewing them. You're going to chew for as long as you can, and then you're going to split it into the bag really carefully, and you're going to zip your bag up, because that's gross if we don't zip our bag up. So you guys are going to chew, and then spit. And I'm going to talk to you about what's in your saliva as you're doing that.
Do it?
So you're going to, I can't talk if I'm chewing. So in our spit, we have this enzyme called amylase, and any enzyme you can imagine is this, a pair of scissors. So amylase seeks out carbohydrates, which are these sort of long chained molecules, and it just goes through and it's like, ooh, my favorite.
So what are enzymes?
Ooh, enzymes are like scissors, so they break things down. So amylase specifically targets carbohydrates, and it goes in and it just breaks up those carbohydrates. So basically, our teeth are doing it on a large level. They're making sort of little tiny pieces of stuff. But you gotta get a lot. You gotta do a lot.
Why? This is my favorite type of cracker.
Then you can eat some after. So, but on a chemical level, enzymes will cut on a chemical level. So instead of sort of this big level where you still have big chunks, enzymes are cutting on a molecular level. So the amylase in our spit cuts on a molecular level, these guys going down. And it takes between 15 and 30 minutes when we eat something. So we'll chew something and we'll swallow it. We obviously don't chew for 15 or 30 minutes. But when it goes into our stomach, it takes some time for our stomach to pump out the acid. And during that time, the amylase is still working. So within 15 to 30 minutes, we'll see this stuff really break down. All right, so Georgia's got her chunk of stuff. And we're just going to let it sit here.
That is
just like that. I know. It's okay, though. Science can be gross. Isabel is not interested in taking part. So thankfully, Georgia did it for us. And we are going to plop this over here so we can look at it later. So now, in our spit, we also have other cool stuff. We have stuff that fights bacteria and viruses, which is really interesting. So they are enzymes that specifically target bacteria and viruses. And that's why sometimes when you get a cut, people will tell you to lick the cut if you don't have anything to clean it with, because your spit will actually clean it, which is pretty cool. And your spit also contains a little bit of stuff that will break down fats, but it doesn't contain anything that will break down protein. So if you're eating beans or meat or anything like that, we don't have something to break it down. Thankfully, we have another enzyme that's going to do it. So
how many should they chew?
You guys could chew how much ever you want. Like,
can I do more?
I would say, like, chew enough and make sure there's enough spit in it. Like, George's is really kind of dry. And you want to make sure there's enough spit in it to have the stuff. Yeah, you can do more. You can always add more to make sure that you have enough. All right, Isabel is not taking part in this project. That's fine. Okay, so we also have, she's grossed out by it. $5. All right, so I have animal protein in here, and this animal protein is gelatin. So it's the kind of the stuff that you would make Jell-O out of. And our bodies don't make this specific kind of enzyme. It makes a different one, but there is one that we can find in plants that breaks down proteins, which is really cool. So if you've ever eaten pineapple and you've eaten too much pineapple, you might notice that maybe the next day your mouth really hurts. Like, it really hurts. And that's because pineapple has an enzyme, so basically a pair of scissors, that targets animal proteins. And guess what? Your mouth, your tongue, your cheeks are all made out of animal proteins. So I have a meat tenderizer, and this protein is called bromelain. This is basically the pure stuff that you can find. Yeah, I'll close that for you, Georgia. So Georgia, you're going to put some of this pure meat tenderizer onto our gelatin right here. Yeah, it's nice and thick, but gentle, because we're going to tenderize it. So you could get this meat tenderizer, and that's what's happening. She's adding a whole bunch of little teeny tiny scissors to chop up those proteins. And those proteins are going to get really chopped. Add enough. Add a bunch. And we're going to see what happens as we chop up these proteins. All right, beautiful. I love it. That's great. So we have
multiple grossed out kids.
I know. So we've got now.
Can I eat this one, Mama?
You can eat that one. We've got now some of this bromelain, this meat tenderizer that's on top of the gelatin. But pineapple has the same enzyme. So it has bromelain in it too. So it has those scissors that are going to be chopping up all of this stuff. So you want to pour that in for me, Georgia? Just plop the whole thing on top.
What about that one?
Well, this one is our bromelain.
So
This one is our pineapple.
What are we doing with these 3 different cans?
We are just going to watch what happens with these guys over time, because enzymes don't work right away. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but we're going to see some action happening hopefully soon. I also have some cooked pineapple, and here's the deal with the cooked stuff. When I cook it, I do something called denaturing the enzyme, which probably doesn't mean anything to you. But what it does mean is I take my scissors and I break them apart. So I might have sort of a top and a bottom, and I can't slice anymore because I just have sort of 2 wobbly pieces. So we have some cooked pineapple to see if that will also eat through our thing. You want to? Here, I'll do that. All right. So we've got a couple different things. We have pure bromelain, which is going to be the enzyme that chops up meat. So we should hopefully see it sort of chop through the proteins on this. We have pineapple, which has a whole bunch of that naturally. And so we're going to see what happens, like what does the pineapple do? And then we have cooked pineapple, where we've basically broken apart the scissors. So these 2 have scissors in them that are geared only towards proteins. And this one has the same scissors, but they're broken. And then Georgia's spit has the scissors in it that are geared towards carbohydrates. And these are really important because without them, we can't break down our food enough. So this is all going to play a role, and we can't really put this stuff into our digestion model because we don't have the enzymes. You could do it if you had like a chemistry lab and you had all of the chemicals you needed, but we don't because we're at home and we're going to make the best of it. So this is just so we can see these guys in action. So we're going to put these up here and we'll check back with them. It might take longer than class today. So if it does, what we'll do is we'll just put it away for the day, and then tomorrow we can look at them too. Are you ready to make some poop? Georgia's ready. All right, let's do it. So we talked about how digestion starts in our mouth. So we're going to take a Ziplock bag as our mouth. And the first thing that we do with digestion is we actually chew, right? And we have some really sharp teeth in the front. That's the teeth that we use like when we want to take a bite of bread. We don't take like the bread and put it like way back here and try to chew it off. We put it straight in our mouth and we chomp down with those really sharp teeth. So these scissors, which used to be my enzyme, are now my really sharp teeth. So Georgia, what I need you to do, we're going to take our breakfast because we're going to digest some breakfast.
Yum, yum, yum.
So I need you to cut up my bread with the scissors. We're going to put it all in here. We had some burnt toast today. We didn't do so great.
Oh, yeah.
We burnt like 4 pieces of toast.
I did not
We have a
know.
question.
Yeah.
This was
Can we
a
try
toast.
2 foods in the same bag?
Yes, we're going to put all of our foods in the
Oh,
bag.
it's so cool.
Because when we eat a whole bunch of different things, and it all goes into the same bag, which is our stomach in the end. Ooh, Georgia's going for really small bites. We don't have to go quite that small, little love. Yeah, that looks great. Beautiful. So you can think about maybe your favorite meal, whatever you want to eat, things that you like.
You can.
Should we just do, okay, I'll do some too. And we're going to add it all into our mouth. All right. So I'm going to cut this guy up just like this. And we'll get it, I'll just rip it smaller. All right. And then we also have, maybe we should just do a half a piece of bread, Georgia. Then we have some cereal. You want to pour the cereal into our mouth?
All of it?
Yeah, just pour it on in. Oh, yeah. And we got some milk, because anytime you eat cereal, you got to have the milk. Oop, that's okay. All right, here we go. And in our mouth, what do we do when we eat food, Georgia?
Crunch it up.
Crunch it up. All right, crunch it up.
Can I do it?
Yeah, you crunch it up, girl. All right, so you're going to take your food that you're making inside your Ziploc bag, and you are going to crunch it up. just like you would crunch it up with your molars inside of your mouth. Oh yeah, it's looking good.
This is not the same bag we chewed up and spit in, right?
No, different bag. Yeah, we still have Georgia's other bag that we're looking at.
Yeah, it actually looks like chewed up food.
So in this bag, in real life, as we're
this
chewing,
looks like chewed up food.
yeah, it does look like chewed up food. In real life, we'd also be adding that amylase enzyme. That's like the little scissors to cut up these guys, the carbohydrates on a molecular level.
So the bread's getting like
yeah, Georgia's like smushing it.
It's getting like
smushy. I know. It's great. Oh yeah, that's
I never knew the
disgusting.
bread could get this mushy.
I know, it's great. All right.
It looks like food.
It does. It looks like chewed up food, which is exactly what we're going for.
It looks like real chewed up food.
All right, Georgia.
I'm just gonna take this off.
Do you need help? Let's help you take that off.
Because I don't want to.
Okay. Don't want to get it messy. Okay. There we go. All right, Georgia. What do we do after we chew up food?
Oh, there's too much air in it.
That's okay. What do we do after we chew up food?
We swallow it.
We swallow it. Perfect. This, one of the toilet paper tubes, is our esophagus. That's the part that we swallow. And in fact, this is going to be a lot easier. This is way bigger than our normal esophagus.
Squishy toy.
So in real life, it's more like a tube. And you can feel, like when you're swallowing, you can feel the muscles that you use to sort of pump it down the tube. But we're just going to plop it down the tube, and it's going to go from our mouth, through our esophagus, and into our stomach. So we're going to put it like this. Here's our little esophagus. This is our stomach pouch. And Georgia, you are going to put it in. We're going to pour it all in. Do you want to squeeze it in? She's going to squeeze it in. We'll cut a hole.
So cutting a hole.
So we're going to cut a hole, or you could open it and pour it in. All right, and you're going to squeeze it in. Yeah, get it all down the esophagus. It's tricky to get it down the esophagus without having the muscles that we have to force it down, force the food down. But we'll get there. Oh, hang on. We're like up here. We got to get the food. Get the food down, yeah. And this is how we get it from our mouth into our stomach. Let's see what we got. How much is coming out? It's stuck in our esophagus. There we go. All right. So this we are done with. You can put that in the trash or wherever you want to put it at. So now we are in our stomach. And our stomach has stomach acid, which is perfect. It helps break down stuff. And our stomach actually also has the enzyme that breaks down the proteins. All right. Can you add some stomach acid in for me? Now, our stomachs produce hydrochloric acid. And if you were here when we did the purple cabbage lab, we watched in Zoom some hydrochloric acid eating up an aluminum can. Ooh, that's probably enough. That's probably enough. All right, so it ate up an aluminum can. So the hydrochloric acid is really, really strong. Lemon juice is not quite as strong as what's in our real stomach. But the acid in our stomach is so strong that it actually eats through our stomach every 3 to 5 days. So we have to create a whole new stomach wall every 3 to 5 days so that we have the acid we need to break down the food.
It's so watery.
Yeah, it's so watery right now. That's great. We want it to be watery because the nutrients can go into that water. And in fact, in a moment, we are going to go from our stomach into our small intestine. Remember, that's the one that's actually really, really long. All right, so let's go into our small intestine. Let me give that to Evan. This is the part that you really want the tray for, okay? And we're done with these two. We're gonna use this as our small intestine because our small intestine has tons of little holes, and that's where all the nutrients seep into our body. So this tray is gonna be like our body, and the small intestine is gonna be the food that we're eating. We're gonna see all the nutrients go into the tray.
What is that you have in your hand?
So this is a nylon stocking, but you could probably use like a really old sock would probably work. Anything that would sort of act as a filter would work for you. All right, so Georgia is going to open up the stomach. So open up that little baggie, and we're gonna put it into our small intestine. So you're gonna pour it on in really carefully.
All right, so we had a question. Do you put all the stuff in one bag, and is this when you put in the lemon juice?
So the lemon juice is, when you're in your stomach. So we went from our mouth where we chewed it all up and we smashed it. And then we went down the esophagus which was when we were swallowing it and went into our stomach where we added the lemon juice, and the stomach was a new baggie. There we go. Perfect. And now we're in our lower intestine. And Georgia, do you want to lift this side up or you want to lift that side up?
This side up.
All right. So you can see that it's dripping down. Ooh, yeah, there's all those good nutrients for our body.
We should squish it.
Yeah, we can squish it. Just like this. So the reason why it's so long, our lower intestine, remember it was 4 times our height, is so that we can get all the nutrition we can out of this, which is really handy.
This is so gross.
So our bodies go through this for a really long time, so we can get all this good food.
It's turning a little bit white.
Oh, yeah.
How much lemon juice? Do we have a measurement?
There's no measurement for the lemon juice. It does not matter. Like, you want to add enough. So you should have something that's liquidy between what you added. Like, we added milk, or you could add juice that you drank for breakfast. And then between that and the stomach acid, you should have it sort of liquidy.
After this part, I'm going to, like, wash my hands.
Yes. Georgia's going to wash her hands after this part, which is great. So we're going to get all this stuff out. Oh, yeah, it looks great. All right. Now, we're going to go from our small intestine, where we have all the nutrients out, and we're going to put it into our large intestine. And for that, I've taken a toilet paper tube roll, and I've just cut it like this. And we are going to plop it in. Now,
somebody says it smells so bad.
it smells sort of like, it does smell kind of gross, I guess. All right, so we're going to take it out of this guy and into our large intestine. And what our large intestine does is it takes out water. So our bodies really like water. We don't want to be getting rid of water we don't need to get rid of, because water is a really precious resource. It might not feel like it for you guys because we all live in a first world country where water is really plentiful, but water is actually something that is a precious resource, and our bodies sort of know that. So we try to squeeze all the water we can out. So we can do that by doing this. Just squeeze it all out like that.
Somebody's using bananas and pretzels.
Ooh, bananas and pretzels. I love that. All right, so we're going to squeeze some water out there. And then, could I grab a towel, Liv? Evan's going to grab me a towel real fast so my fingers are not as slimy. Because then we're going to go into our rectum. So after we go, so now, as a recovery, we've chewed up our food. We swallowed it down our esophagus. We put the stomach acids in our stomach and let it all mix around. We put it through sort of like a sieve or like a filter for our lower intestine to get all the nutrients out. Now we've gotten some of the water out, so we're drying it up. And then we go into a muscle called our rectum. And this Ziploc bag is going to be our rectum today. It's going to be a little muscle. So it's going to go from our large intestine
to the poop intestine.
Into the rectum, which is not an intestine. We're not, at this point, our body is like, don't need it, don't care, not important. All of this is waste. We've gotten the water we wanted. We've gotten the nutrients we wanted. It's not quite poop yet. It's hanging out. It's waiting. Would you like the honors of doing the poop?
Yeah.
All right, so we have a little hole. It's called our anus.
It's called a butthole.
That's another more popular non-scientific way to say it. And so we're going to cut a little hole.
Butthole.
Hang on. Nothing's right there.
Butthole.
Ooh, our scissors are not happy. Here we go. There we go. All right, so Georgia is going to make some poop for us. We're really going to have a pretend potty right here. And our rectum is going to use its muscles to squeeze it out.
When we're squeezing that out, it kind
Oh,
of
there it
looks
comes.
like
Oh,
it
yeah.
kind of looks like the stuff that you put on cookies.
Oh, it looks like frosting. Georgia thinks it kind of looks like frosting.
When you get
We're
it.
ahead of people a little bit, so
Okay.
we have some questions about, can we use the same bag as we chewed up? Can we just add that into that same bag?
Totally. Yeah. If you're low on bags, you can totally do that.
And then somebody just added the lemon juice, and they're squishing up the lemon juice.
Perfect.
Here's
Yeah.
the poop.
Once that's all squished up, what should I do?
Lovely poop. Once it's all squished up, so once you're in your stomach, thanks Georgia, and it's all squished up, you're going to add it to what used to be this lovely nylon sock or whatever you're using to filter it. So if you have like a nylon sock, like a pantyhose, you can use that. If you just have like a plain like tube sock or just like a gym sock that you don't use anymore, that should all work. So you would plop it into it and you're going to squeeze out all of the nutrients from it. So that's where it's going to get messy.
So Kelly would like to know if you could explain the adding the lemon juice part.
Yes, so we had all of our food in our stomach, which was right here. But when we chew and we swallow it, we don't actually have any acids in there yet. So our stomach produces acids. And to pretend like an acid, we want to add some acid to our pretend stomach. So in our real stomach, we have hydrochloric acid that's breaking down that food. And in our pretend stomach, we're going to add lemon juice. So you just add in some lemon juice. Your stomach, actually, this is really cool about your stomach. When it doesn't sense food, it doesn't make the acid. But when you start eating a meal and it senses that there's food coming in, it actually starts literally pumping in acid like this. Zoop, zoop, zoop. And it starts pumping in the acid, which helps a few things. It helps break down our food. And it actually also helps activate some of those enzymes. So some of our enzymes, we wouldn't want our enzymes in our stomach to chew away at protein at any point in time. Ooh, yeah, we'll come back to that. We want it to only chew away at protein when there's other food in our stomach. We don't want it to chew away at us. So these enzymes, actually the ones that we have in our stomach, has to be at a low pH. So it has to be acidic for it to even start turning into scissors, which is kind of cool. So that's what's happening when you pump that stuff into your stomach. And then if you're there, once you're in your, you're going to take your goop into your small nutrients. And you definitely want to do that over a tray. Extract our nutrients from it. And then we'll put it into our large intestine, which sort of takes out some of the water usually. And then that goes into, which is another bag, or you could put it back into your stomach bag. That's totally fine too. And you would cut a corner to be the anus, which is going to make the poop look like poop. Look at that. I mean, that's some good looking poop. Who woke up and thought they were going to make poop today? It's pretty great.
So I'm going to open up the Zoom classroom for troubleshooting.
All right. Yeah. Evan's going to open up the Zoom for us. So if you're there and you have questions, we can do that. And then I do want to take a moment for our little sort of side experiment that we set up, which was with the pineapple and the bromelain, which is the scissors that chews up animal protein. So we basically added some scissors here. And I don't know if Evan can get a close-up, but you can actually see that this is no longer white like it used to be. It's sort of like this wettish. You can tell that the powder is now wet. So it's eating through, and as it eats through this gelatin and cuts through those proteins, it's actually releasing water, which is what's making this really, really wet. So this is already working. In fact, I can see as I change it, you can see some of the water dripping out. And we did not add any water. This was just straight gelatin. So that water is coming from us cutting up that mesh, using the scissors to cut up that mesh of the gelatin, the animal protein, and releasing the water that was in there. So this guy's already working.
Can you see it from the side at all?
Let's see. Can we see it from the side? It's maybe coming in a little bit into it. But we will also let this, we're going to let this sit overnight for sure and see what happens overnight. We can, actually, some of the pineapple tips are coming. Oops, let's give you guys this side. You don't have the big black thing. They're starting to come through sort of the surface of that gelatin. And this one, there is definitely water being released also. So this guy is working. Of course, some of that water could just be from the pineapple because our pineapples do have water in them naturally. But we will see. I think this will take a little bit, but you can see, you guys, we'll take a good picture of it that we can post up, but there's sort of like tips of the pineapple that are sort of starting to dig into this. And again, we'll leave this overnight. So tomorrow we can look at this experiment all together. And then this is the one that was cooked. And oops, let's flip it again. Sorry. I'm not seeing the tips really come through on this. I can kind of see it's like where you can see where the weight is from the pineapple, but it's not breaking through the surface. And there's actually, surprisingly, even though this one had a little of extra water in it, I don't really see much water. So see, watch how these two move differently. This one sort of slides on the surface. You see how that slides on the surface?
You're going too fast.
There we go. We'll slide it this way and that way. So it kind of slides on the surface. It doesn't hit everything. This one sort of sticks where it was. It's not really slidey. So this one's not doing much. But this is a project we are going to investigate further when we tomorrow. We'll look at this guy tomorrow and see what has happened to our pineapple, because it does take time for those enzymes to work. And that's a pretty cool little guy there. I'm not sure where our camera is, but it might be on this, which is really cool.
It's on you.
Oh, it's on me. Okay, cool. So we'll take a look at all these. But the pure bromelain, the pure enzyme is working really, really well. I can see bubbles. It's really cool. So that'll be a really fun project. And if you wanted to do it, you could just make some gelatin and you could add some pineapple. In fact, the enzyme that's in the pineapple that breaks down the animal protein is the reason why you can't make pineapple jello, because you'd be adding the enzyme. You'd have to take that enzyme out of the pineapple. So it'd be like pineapple flavored jello, because once you take the enzyme out, then it's fine. But you have to somehow deactivate that enzyme. And we did it with heat here. But if you used fresh pineapple with gelatin, you'll just get a puddle instead of like, I don't know. In the 1950s, they made all these like fancy jello desserts that were like towers and they had fruit inside. That wouldn't work with pineapple because it would just eat away, which is pretty cool. Alrighty, how are people doing on their digestion, their poop making? Let me know if you have any questions or if you've made some fabulous poop. I love poop, it's great. This is like my favorite project.
All right, so I'm gonna go to your computer too.
All right, so we're gonna get set up in Zoom. So you guys can ask some questions in Zoom shortly. We can have some lunch together, which is lunch, yum, yum. Not that. I'm good without that, but that's still awesome. So if you have questions, make sure you can type them in still into our chat. And let's see. Don't forget, as we're thinking about what we're doing, to share what we're doing. Make sure that you tell all of your friends, so you don't need to worry. We are a pay-as-you-can basis, so the more the merrier. And we love having all the shout-outs. We love having all you guys join us. So make sure that you share it, Facebook or Instagram or however you want to share it. And make sure that you like and follow us so that you know all the goodies that are coming. And I am working really hard. If you started out with us in the very beginning, I had like made this awesome 6-week schedule and had all the supplies figured out. And then Amazon stopped shipping. So I've been working really hard to sort of change that around. I'll let you guys know what we are not going to be using, so that if you want to return those items, you can. Or I can also point you into the activities we were going to do. So for example, we won't make a laser projection microscope, which is amazing because you take a drop of pond water and you make a microscope out of your entire wall, which is so cool. And you can see like microbes swimming around and like eating each other. It's amazing. But it's really hard to get syringes and lasers right now. So we're not going to do that. So we're revamping some things. Next week, I'm going to try to do a gastronomy, molecular gastronomy. So we're going to make, hopefully, things like learning how to calibrate your oven with sugar, or doing things like making edible water balls, which will be really fun. So we're going to switch over to that because those are ingredients that we can find at our grocery store, or you might even have in your cabinets already. So we're really working on that. And then for tomorrow, just don't forget, we're going to make cell models together. So whatever cell model you want to make, there's all sorts of different kinds. You guys could even look up online. People make them out of Jell-O. People make them out of food. People make it out of candies. You can make it out of recycled materials. You can use whatever you want, and we'll build one together. And then like, obviously yours will look different, which is what's going to make Zoom tomorrow completely amazing, because we'll get to see each other's projects, which makes me really, really, really happy. And if you're a patron, you will have the Zoom link. You should have the Zoom link that will get you into our Zoom classroom. And if you're not a patron, you should head over to our Patreon page and become one so you can support the science, because it's so much fun. Like, honestly, did you think you were going to get to make poop today? Well, if you were here yesterday, you knew. But come on. When school closures happened, you were like, what do I do? Let's make poop. I don't know. It seems pretty great.
Oh, we have a question. How do you make gelatin?
How do you make gelatin? Ooh, great question. So if you have Jell-O, then it'll have the instructions on the package. And Jell-O, you just take boiling water. So you use boiling water. You'll pour the whole package of the gelatin in, which is the Jell-O little package. And you'll mix it up, and you'll pour it into whatever cups you want. And you will let it cool, and that will make it hard. So when you pour it, it'll be a liquid. And then at room temperature, after it's cooled off for a while, you'll actually be able to get nice and hard like this. If you have clear gelatin, which is like Kerr makes it for canning, that one you're going to have to make sure you add sugar to. So I had like a packet of gelatin for this one, and I think a half a cup of sugar. and boiling water, and then you just let it sit and you pour it in, and it takes like, I don't know, a few hours to set up like this. So if you have plain gelatin, you need to add like a packet of gelatin plus a half a cup of sugar, and then 1 cup of boiling water. You'll stir it, you'll pour it into whatever you want to do your experiment in, and then you will wait. So you just have to wait. So like maybe if you do it now, and then for my East Coast kids by dinner time, for my West Coast kids sort of, I don't know, middle of the afternoon time, it'll be ready for you to do that. Yeah, that's a great question.
Do the broken down bits of our stomach make it into the small intestine with the rest of the acid and get reused in our body as energy again?
I would imagine so. So yeah, the acid is going to be breaking it down. We slough off cells all the time, and the cells that we slough off into our body, yeah, our body would reuse what it can, and then the rest comes out as poop. That's all the stuff we don't want. All the gross stuff. All right. What else do we got for questions on YouTube?
So no more YouTube questions. I'm
Okay.
gonna take down those links, and then you guys, if you want to, you can always subscribe and get those links again. And we'll be switching over in about 2 minutes. So 2-minute breaks to get.
So
ready
a
to
2-minute
take
break will be over in Zoom. I already see some of my friends in Zoom, but we're gonna do some we'll make sure that our audio isn't crazy when we flip over. So much fun seeing you guys today. Thank you for joining us on YouTube, and we will see you tomorrow.
Coffee says hi.
Oh,
You never
hi,
said hi to
Coffee. I
Coffee.
didn't say hi to Coffee. Oh, hi, Coffee. I'm sorry. I missed you. Not intentional.
All right, we're gonna close down YouTube.
All right.
But come over to Zoom and join us for the class.
Goodbye, my friends. All right.
So I'm going to remove this link.
Move these guys. Shoot.
Stream.
Alrighty. Would you like to unmute me?